think that Donald Trump is like most white men in America. He is morally bankrupt. He is transactional.
All right, so in this video, you're going to hear DL Hughley break down the entire MAGA sphere and specifically Donald Trump's reaction post the Charlie Kirk incident. And it's fair to say he doesn't hold back. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Now let's get into this and I'll give you my 2 cents at the end.
Trump, in my opinion, doesn't give a shit about Charlie Kirk. Donald Trump cares about himself. And proof, just let me give you proof. This is Donald Trump asked about Charlie Kirk. Now I want you to watch, just listen closely to his response today.
How are you holding up over the last 3.5 days?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty. It'll be an absolutely magnificent structure. And I just see all the trucks. We just started, so it'll get done very nicely, and it'll be one of the best anywhere in the world, actually.
Thank you so much.
He is asked about Charlie Kirk, and he points to this ugly fucking ballroom that he's building that no one wants except for him.
I think that Donald Trump is, in my belief, and this is my estimation, is like most white men in America. I think it is the exception that is different than him. I think he is morally bankrupt. I think that he is transactional. I think if you told me I was like Obama, I would be flattered. But people will pretend to be insulted by a man that they champion. We always have these. I think it's hard for him, and a lot of people like him, to even fake empathy. They have to fake caring. They have to be told what to do, because being humane and being empathic doesn't come organically to them. And I think he's more. There are more people that are like him, more white guys that are like him than aren't. Because if they weren't, they wouldn't tolerate the things that he does. You don't call. He was quicker to send people to hurt Los Angeles who didn't vote for him than to help Texas who did. He's quicker to do things to hurt people that didn't support him than help those who did. And that is the kind of moral bankruptcy that I think is in a lot of people who are powerful people. I think that democracy was always a fraught proposition because it always required people to look past themselves. And we run out of men like that. I think now people are transactional. Now people are tribal, and there are things that'll happen. And that man, to me, epitomizes all that America is. I think you'd be hard pressed to find people that are not like him. I'm just, that's my opinion. I think you couldn't. How do you give Rush Limbaugh the Medal of Freedom? How are you contemplating giving Charlie Kirk? Like, what did he do that was so noteworthy? What is the speech he gave? What is he's not a poet. He didn't invent a vaccine. He wasn't a great general. What did he do? Like, name me the thing that he did that drew people together. But that is the approximation. They can't even, they're so devoid of actually having experience where they struggle. They have to approximate other struggles. They have to conflate him with Dr. Martin Luther King. They have to conflate him with Rosa Parks, or people with Rosa Parks, because they're so devoid of struggle. And I think he is the epitome of what this country is. And I think there are more people that are like him that are not. And I think that's why we're in the situation we're in, because we ran out of people who cared more about things that were, if you run on empathy, you run on things, you can't relate to people anymore. So I think that's where we are. We're running on morality. Our morality is on E right now.
But it just points out, I believe, DL, the political divide, not even the political divide, the real life divide here in America between, I'm speaking generally of Black people and white people, some white people in this country. Because if they understood what it's like, and I should say minorities, or people who are part of the underserved community, people who are part of the communities who are attacked, if they don't understand why the group of Americans, these groups of Americans are sitting here scratching our heads, because I'm one of them, wondering, like, wait a minute, why are you treating Charlie Kirk like he's a monarch? Like he is actually a member of the government, that he is deserving of a state funeral, that he is actually deserving of the honor of having flags lowered to have staff, that he is deserving of the honor of having the Presidential Medal of Freedom, an honor that's usually for war heroes, of people
Right.
who have made major sacrifices to the country and fought in times against things that were wrong when it wasn't popular.
What is the thing that he did that we can all agree on? That were illuminating, that made us all cohesive. What is the thing that we get as human beings? What is the thing he has said or done in his life that drew people in and gathered them together? Like, is it, what poem is it? What device is it? What charity is it? What thing has he done? And what he has done is the thing that they all come and have in common, whether it's Rush Limbaugh or any number of Confederate generals where they name their parks and schools and bases after, or even now him. The thing they have in common, if they have maligned, either verbally maligned or physically hurt people that they believe were inferior. All of them. Name me a guy that he honored that didn't have a racist past. I don't care if we're talking about Hulk Hogan. All of them have that in common. And to me, the thing that I am incensed by, there is a difference between not wanting a young man's life snuffed out and then having that life be an example for others. Would you want your kids to grow up to be like him? Either one of them. You could tell me how much, and we always have these conversations. We would you leave your daughter in a room with Donald Trump? Would you leave your children? Do you want your children to be like him? Does he, everything he is, everything he says, everything he does, we were told as children not to act like. We were told not to be. Everything he did, everything he does, the way he comports himself, the things he believed, the things he espouses, the things he said, like all today, he talked about only the people who were on the right. He's not the president of the United States, clearly. He's the president of the United States. In this climate, this tells you how petty and how tribal and myopic this man is. How is it in this politically charged climate, when you know people are being killed, there've been two assassination attempts on your life, you take Secret Service protection away from your political rival, knowing what could happen? You do that on purpose. What human being would do that? And I tell you what human being, a lot of white dudes feel just like him. And that's why he's allowed to do it. Because if you didn't feel, there are certain things that you could do I would never go along with, and you could lose my support, and I would be vocal about it. What has he ever done? Like this whole Epstein thing. Either he is a child molester or is abetting something. There's no really ambiguity about either he is a child, either he's a pedophile or is an accomplice or is abetting them or obscuring for them or covering for them. So how is it that you can tell us that you are the moral leaders of our country, that you're even all the things that he says and does, you couldn't get hired at the White Castle, let alone be the White House? And I think he's indicative of who this country actually is.
So do you agree? Do you think that Trump's behavior and him as a person is indicative of what America actually is? I kind of feel there's some truth to that. Donald Trump kind of represents America at its best and its worst. But let's break down the masterclass from Hughley that we witnessed, because he takes us on what I think is quite a profound journey in just a few minutes. He starts with the specific, the almost comically petty. Donald Trump doesn't care about his most loyal sycophants like Charlie Kirk, and the way that he switched topic in that clip we saw really didn't seem to show much care at all. And we know this. We know that to Trump, people aren't allies, they're tools. They are assets to be used and discarded. And as DL so brilliantly pointed out, it's not that Trump is bad at showing empathy, it's just that the entire concept of empathy is a foreign language to him. He physically cannot perform it because the software was never installed. And if you look back at his history and his relationship with his dad, that kind of makes sense. But then DL does what only he can do, really. He zooms out and connects the one specific character flaw to a massive, uncomfortable national truth. He poses the devastating question, why would a con man keep running the same con? Well, because it keeps working. Trump's behavior, the narcissism, the transactional cruelty, the complete lack of empathy, it's not a bug, it's a central feature. And for millions of his supporters, it's not a flaw to be tolerated, but a strength to be admired. Loads of people love that performative cruelty. Well, actual, it's not just performative anymore, it's actual cruelty if you look at all of the things he's done since coming back into office. And that's the terrifying core of DL's final point. He's arguing that Trump isn't an aberration, he's a reflection. He's a mirror held up to a segment of the country that sees his behavior and says, yes, I want more of that. They don't want a leader who cares about people. They want a leader who projects dominance, and they are willing to be tools in that machine because they believe it benefits them, which of course it doesn't. So that brings us to the real question DL leaves us with, and it's a heavy one. Is he right? Is Trump's profound lack of empathy a true reflection of what a large part of the country now demands from its leaders, or is he just a one-of-a-kind political anomaly? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons for more, and also don't forget to press the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.